Jeff Bezos just bought Vogue for Lauren Sánchez? What's the most wildly extravagant gift you could possibly give your new spouse? Forget the sports car or the diamond big enough to be a paperweight. We're talking about a level of gift giving that is on another planet of wealth and power. Right now, the internet and the entire fashion world are obsessed with a rumor that sounds almost too crazy to be true, that Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is secretly trying to buy Vogue magazine for his new wife Lauren Sánchez. It sounds like a movie plot, where love, media, and billions of dollars all crash into each other. But as they say, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. The whispers started small in fashion circles but have absolutely blown up into a global news story. Why? Because some people think the clues have been hiding in plain sight this whole time. Today, we're going to get into all of it. We'll lay out what's fueling the rumors, break down the counter-arguments, and try to separate the hard facts from the high-fashion fiction. This story is about more than just a magazine. It's about how media is changing, the insane gravity of modern billionaires, and whether the ultimate symbol of cultural power can be bought like the ultimate wedding present. What's fueling the rumor? Every huge rumor needs a spark, something that makes people stop and think, wait, what if? For this story, that spark was a glossy, high-fashion bombshell, Lauren Sánchez on the digital cover of Vogue. This wasn't just any photo shoot. Dropping in June 2025, the feature showed Sánchez in her custom Dolce & Gabbana wedding dress, an elaborate creation reportedly chosen with help from the high priestess of fashion herself, Anna Wintour. The timing was perfect and, to a lot of people, a little suspicious. It landed just as news of her huge wedding to Bezos in Italy was all over the world. For industry watchers, this was a major red flag. Lauren Sánchez, while obviously a big public figure now, isn't a typical Vogue cover star, not like a supermodel, an Oscar winner, or a pop star. Her being on that digital cover felt different. It felt strategic. An insider quoted in the Daily Mail said, "The rumor that Jeff is going to buy Condé Nast is all anyone's talking about in the fashion industry and inside Vogue." The source suggested featuring Sánchez was a calculated move to flatter Bezos and roll out the red carpet for a potential new owner. Then came the second piece of the puzzle, a major shift in Anna Wintour's role. After an incredible 37-year reign as editor-in-chief of American Vogue, Wintour announced she was stepping away from the day-to-day duties of the top job. Now she's not gone. She is still the global chief content officer for the parent company Condé Nast and global editorial director of Vogue, so she holds a ton of power. A new head of editorial content will be hired to report to her. But again, the timing was wild. The announcement came right before the Sánchez cover dropped, which just fueled the idea that Wintour was clearing the way for a new era and maybe a new owner. Some sources have even whispered that Wintour, who reportedly has equity in the company, is personally brokering the deal. The theory is that she would be the one to smooth the transition, using her legendary influence to hand the keys to the kingdom over to Bezos. The third, and maybe most believable, piece of this is Jeff Bezos himself. This wouldn't be his first time buying up legacy media. In 2013, he shocked everyone by purchasing the Washington Post for $250 million in cash. At the time, the famous newspaper was struggling. Bezos didn't buy it through Amazon. He used his personal fortune, just like the rumor suggests he'd do with Vogue. His ownership of the Post gives us a clear playbook. He invested a ton of money, grew the newsroom when others were shrinking, and revolutionized the paper's technology. He turned the Post into a digital powerhouse. Pundits see the parallels. Condé Nast is also facing a tough media market, with layoffs and office closures. To some analysts, these look like signs of a company getting ready for a sale. The idea of Bezos swooping in to save another iconic media brand and beef up its digital side doesn't just feel possible, it feels familiar. It fits his pattern. The reality check. Okay, for every juicy clue that supports this rumor, there's a cold hard fact that pushes back. The story of Bezos buying Vogue is exciting, but the official story is very, very different. The biggest counter-argument is a straight-up denial. A source described as being close to Jeff Bezos told the Daily Mail that the rumor he was thinking about buying Condé Nast was totally untrue. That's a pretty clear statement from the Bezos camp. While billionaires can be secretive, a denial that direct is hard to just ignore. The second, and probably biggest, roadblock is who actually owns Vogue. The magazine isn't a standalone company you can just buy. It's the crown jewel of Condé Nast, a huge global media empire that also owns The New Yorker, Vanity Fair, GQ, and Wired. Condé Nast in turn is owned by a private family company called Advanced Publications, which has been run by the Newhouse family since 1959. The Newhouse family has a long history in media. The patriarch, Samuel Irving Newhouse, actually bought Condé Nast for $5 million as an anniversary gift for his wife because she loved Vogue. For decades, the family has kept tight control and has said over and over that their magazines are not for sale. It isn't just a business for them, it's a family legacy. Dynasties don't usually sell their crown jewels unless they're in serious trouble. This brings us to the third point. This would be a massive and complicated deal. If Bezos wanted Vogue, he'd probably have to buy all of Condé Nast. Estimates put the company's value at around $5 billion. Bezos can certainly afford that, but it's a huge purchase. He'd be buying a whole portfolio of global brands, each with its own staff and problems. Also, Advanced Publications has its hands in other industries, with big stakes in companies like Warner Bros. Discovery and Charter Communications. Trying to pull Vogue or even Condé Nast out of that web would be incredibly complex. It's not as simple as just writing a check. So on one hand, we have a trail of tantalizing clues, and on the other we have firm denials. This is where it gets really interesting. Before we dive into what might really be happening here, from PR power plays to the future of media, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss our breakdowns of the stories everyone's talking about. So what's really going on? When you peel back the layers of this rumor, you find the story isn't just about a potential sale. It's about power, image, and the massive changes happening in media and culture. First, let's look at the Lauren Sánchez Vogue cover as a pure PR move. Was it a sign that the magazine was for sale? Probably not. More likely, it was a masterclass in showing off influence. A feature in Vogue, especially one this personal, is a huge statement. It was a way to formally introduce Lauren Sánchez Bezos to the world on the fanciest stage possible, moving her image from tabloid regular to a member of the cultural elite. The cover itself was a flex. It showed that the Bezos-Sánchez team could get the attention of the most powerful woman in fashion and her legendary magazine. In that light, the cover wasn't a for sale sign. It was a declaration that they had already arrived. Second, there's the Billionaire playbook. We're in an era where tech titans are buying up old-school cultural institutions. Bezos did it with the Washington Post. Mark Benioff of Salesforce bought Time magazine. This isn't just about money, it's about getting a different kind of currency: influence. Owning a major media outlet gives you a platform to shape conversations and build a legacy beyond tech. Owning the Washington Post let Bezos revitalize a pillar of American democracy and put himself at the center of the political world. Owning Vogue would be a different but just as powerful move. It would make him the owner of the fashion Bible. The rumor keeps going because it fits this modern billionaire pattern perfectly, turning cash into cultural capital. Third, let's just imagine for a second, what if it did happen? The impact would be massive. A Bezos-owned Vogue could blend fashion content and shopping in a way we've never seen. Imagine reading an article about a new dress and being able to buy it instantly through Amazon. Amazon's tech and logistics could supercharge Vogue's digital side in ways its rivals could only dream of. But it would also raise huge questions about independence. Could Vogue cover the fashion industry fairly if its owner has business interests everywhere? What if Amazon's own fashion brands started getting featured all the time? The idea of the world's biggest retailer owning the world's most influential fashion magazine creates a potential conflict of interest, so big it could hurt the very credibility that makes Vogue so valuable. Finally, the rumor says a lot about the shaky ground legacy media is on. Condé Nast, despite its famous titles, has had financial struggles and has been going through major restructuring. The whole industry is trying to figure out how to survive as print ads disappear. Even if the Newhouse family says they aren't selling today, the financial pressure makes a future sale to a billionaire a constant possibility. The Bezos rumor is so believable because everyone knows the underlying problem: old media needs cash and tech billionaires have tons of it. The verdict: so, after looking at the clues, the denials, and the deeper story, what's the verdict? Did Jeff Bezos buy Vogue for Lauren Sánchez? Based on the facts, the answer is almost certainly no. The direct denial from Bezos' team and the firm stance of the Newhouse family make a real sale right now very unlikely. The story of a billionaire buying a media empire as a wedding gift is for now just a rumor. But to just call it a rumor and move on would be missing the whole point. This story has grabbed the world's attention because it reveals a deeper truth about power today. The lines between tech, business, media, and culture are blurrier than ever. The Lauren Sánchez Vogue cover was a real event that showed the incredible influence she and Jeff Bezos have. They may not need to buy the magazine to command its cover. The speculation isn't really about a sale. It's a reflection of our collective understanding that people like Jeff Bezos operate on a level where almost anything seems possible, even buying the most famous name in fashion. The rumor is like a modern fable about wealth and influence, showing how one person's power can touch every part of our culture. So while Jeff Bezos may not have the deed to Vogue in his pocket, the conversation itself proves something bigger. He and Lauren Sánchez have shown they can dominate the cultural landscape. The real question isn't what they'll buy next, but what they'll influence next. What do you think is really going on? Is this a secret power move, a brilliant PR stunt, or just a fun fashion world fantasy? Drop your theories in the comments below. We read them all, and if you like this investigation, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories you care about. Thanks for watching.